from New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, beautiful Laura Styles, and the beautiful Niatia. Give it up for Niatia. You guys don't know who Niatia is. You're like, yo, who is that? That's Lil Mama. We was just arguing in the hallway because I said, Lil Mama's here. They said, it's Niatia. I said, oh, hey, Niatia. She said, no, Niatia.
Yes.
That's what we doing today
That's
already?
what we doing today. Yep.
Why the name change? Because you're not little anymore?
I mean, no, I'm still little. I'm like 5'3". I weigh like 115. I would say I'm still little, but I mean, in the metaphoric sense, I'm not.
Yeah.
Big now. I feel like there's a natural growth that has taken place, and not only in my career but in my life. And so but it's a very grounded thing that happened for me. I had so much to learn. When I first got in this industry, I was 17, 18. You remember me running around. I used to come up here crazy. And I think that my excitement, my enthusiasm about music, about entertainment itself, and then that mixed in with the Brooklyn, Harlem, and still being in the streets was it was a lot. It was a lot of energy. And so I guess over time, I kind of learned how to pace myself. And with that growth, I feel like I got more back down to my foundation. And that's my birth-given name, Niatia, which means purpose goddess. Because now I know, when I go to do something, it's for a reason. If I take on a role, it has a purpose behind it. If I do music, it has a purpose behind it, as opposed to me doing things to stay relevant.
And that's just growing up. That's part
Absolutely.
of growing up.
Yeah.
Does the name Lil Mama come with baggage? Because I feel like every time, I've seen over the last few years, it feels like social media loves coming for you.
Yeah.
Is that what is that based in, do you believe? And I feel like it started when you jumped on stage with Jay and Alicia Keys. And I remember the moment, I was like, she's just so Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was disruptive. I think that anything that's like disruptive, that's like, people talk about it and people, grow from it. I think some of the greatest artists had controversial moments that made them great, that made them
Defining moments.
Yeah, it's a defining, like if you don't bounce back from something, then who are you? Because people always try to figure out, okay, it's no way that this person is just perfect. Like, okay, it's kind of like people, they root for you to be perfect, but then at the same time, they like, nah, get out of here with that. You got to do, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something that's not right. That's why we, when it comes to celebrities, you'll find a lot of sites trying to dig for dirt. Like, do you use drugs? Are you a drinker?
Of course.
Are you a pedophile? Like, what
Something
do you
wrong
do?
with you. Of course.
Something ain't right. You ain't perfect, So I think with me, it's like, I was so free as a young person, and I was so courageous. And I think that comes with the city of New York. It's like we don't really think about what we do until after the fact. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people in our city, they end up in trouble because of things like that. I got
And
a
that's
lot
just
of...
being a kid, though.
Yeah.
That's being a kid. Even kids do mischief. In the
That's true.
city, you do some mischief, you end up in Rikers.
Nah,
but
for real, though. I was about to say that. I got a lot of friends that's locked up and dead, and, I got friends that's mothers, and... they got stories with men in the streets or dudes that got stories with some of these chicks that's like, it'll make you, you know what I mean?
wilding out. You was out here not thinking it through and got in some shit.
Yeah, and I mean, I got a lot of people that's on the ground. You got to understand I come from the ghetto for real.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that I do, it would be a reflection of that if that's all that I was around. And at that moment, when you have two people that you look up to, one being from Brooklyn, one being from Harlem, when I was a young girl, I lived in Brooklyn, and then my mother went through the system. So we was in a shelter in Brooklyn. When she got the list of where she was going to live, she chose Harlem. And when she chose Harlem, that's where me and my brothers grew up with my mother at. So when I see Jay-Z from Brooklyn, I see Alicia Keys from Harlem, and they talking about New York, and I know I'm not, I'm not the type of person that's scared to do what I say I'm going to do. So if I feel it in I'm like, I'm out. Let's go.
I'm
we
up there too.
I was trying to get Beyonce up there. Like, let's go. But, it's like, that person, Lil Mama, compared to Niatia now, that has not only the natural wisdom that I already had, which gave me that name, Mama, but I also have, experience in the industry. I know how people move. Everybody that, that honor you or respect you, they may not want you in a specific area in their career or what they have going on. Like, for example, that was a performance that they put together, that they planned out, and that the last thing that they was expecting was for somebody to come up and be like, New York for real. It was like, that's a little too real. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it real, but not like that.
Did you ever have a conversation with Alicia or Jay about it?
No. We never talk. We never talk. And I feel like I apologized so many times that I had to get to the point where I had to forgive myself.
Right.
Like, stop waiting for, somebody to say, you know what, yeah, I forgive you, or, nah, forgive yourself, pray, plan, and move forward.
I never thought it was that deep, man.
Yeah.
Like, I never took it that deep. Like, I was like,
I
is
didn't
she a
either. It was
crazy
funny.
kid from New
Like,
York?
at the time, it was funny.
What show was it? It was VMAs, right? What was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Was it
VMAs.
VMAs?
It's the VMAs. Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck?
That was the same night
You know what I'm
Kanye ran up
Yeah.
there. Everybody was
It was
running
lit.
up there.
What was y'all drinking?
I ain't tell you the truth. I was so sober. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I ain't take nothing. It was my grandmother's birthday. I remember it was 9/13. It was September 13th, my grandmother's birthday. I was excited. She from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. Jay from Brooklyn. I'm like, we all from Brooklyn. Let's go now. But I really I feel like I had this natural energy.
Yeah, you did.
And
You still have
and
it,
that's
though. You
what-
got that spunk still.
Yeah.
I feel like, too, and then it went from that to you becoming a meme of your eye tearing up because of the Breakfast Club interview, and I saw the anger in your face when y'all was exchanging. Did that ever get ironed out?
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely talked about it. And I feel like it got ironed out right there. See, I'm the type of person that, like when I tell you that I'm really from these streets, I'm from the ghetto for real, but like I also come from Islam background as well as Christianity. Like I learned so much. And in Islam, you learn that you are 8. You learn that femininity. You learn that you're flexible. You go in and out. You may cry sometime. You may be angry. You may be the strong individual. Then you may have this really weak moment. And as a woman, that's what we're supposed to do. So when I'm crying, I'm the type of person that I'll cry and be like, now these tears is gonna stop in a minute, but I ain't finished with you. Because I feel like if I have something to say, I want to express what it is that I have to say. But don't take my, expression of, feeling pain for a weakness. I feel like we all feel pain and we all have joyful moments. We all have this balance, right? That makes life so incredible, because if we don't have downs, how will we know what the ups are? And so with that being said, when I'm in conversation with someone, like sometimes, like my brother came here today with me, and sometimes we go to war. It was at one point, I think I was 18 when we lost our mom. He was 15 when we lost our mom. We was kids. So a lot of things that I wasn't sensitive to. Like I thought my brothers had it figured out, just like people thought I should have had it figured out. And we had this conflict where we would go to converse, and he would be like, yo, you really not listening to me. I'm trying to talk to you about something and you shutting me down. You're busy, or you're doing these things, and we'll go to war and cry and scream, and then it get low again, and then it go back up, and then we find that balance where we're communicating and we're speaking to each other and we're understanding what the other person is feeling and what they're trying to convey.
Did you ever find yourself laughing at the memes of yourself after the fact?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so funny because, like, I'll see a meme that say something about class, like when somebody underarms thinking, they be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so funny. But then I see another one, I'll be like, it's not funny. It's like I go in and out because, I find myself... I find it funny because we laugh at our pain all the time.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I come from a family where you gonna get it. You gonna get it. One way or another, you getting it.
Yeah.
And it's like, to see something that, like, it's me, but it's still something that's bringing joy to people, it makes me laugh. But then when I think about my reason for crying, it'll make me be like, nah, that's not funny.
It wasn't
because
funny at
we
the
gotta
time.
grow up. I think I start going deep. I start being like, no, because as Black people,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's ways for us to support each other and still get ratings. It's ways for us to be positive and still get ratings.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, and this may sound crazy to you, right? One of my favorite movies is Monsters, Inc.
I love Monsters, Inc.
Monsters,
Me and
Inc.
Issa, my daughter, was watching the other day.
That's one of my favorite movies, right?
Great.
Because the concept of the movie is that the whole time they going in these rooms and they're scaring kids. They're scaring kids. They're like, we need the energy. We need them to cry. We need them to be scared. We need them to be upset. We need to get to them. Let's scare them, right? And like the energy, if this is the vote, the energy would go here. And then it would go here. And they was like, all right, we filling them up. We filling up the energy tanks. But when Boo came out of the room and came into their world with so much joy, and they saw that laughter was making the votes burst out of control.
Yeah.
Her joy for bringing around. When they was doing things that they didn't think was funny, but it was so silly to her, she was rolling. And it was like all of this energy. I'm like, wow, this is a positive message. And it's in a cartoon, but it's so deep. Because we go so hard to dig for negativity and being like, yo, what we gonna do today? All right, we tearing this one down and that one down. That's gonna bring it up. But really, if we start focusing on a little bit more positive energy and laughter and having fun with each other,
you know what it is?
we can lift it up.
The reason those negative things are popular is because they're easy, right? It's like fast food. It's quick. It's fast. And, with Instagram and social media and all this stuff, and, it's been for some time. It's been brewing for a long time. Like, I've watched it in radio just where, the Wendy Williams of the world who, that was her thing.
True.
To go into that tabloid talk negativity zone. And then the people who came after that and tried to emulate that saw her success and was like, oh, okay, if we just go at artists and celebrities, like you pointed out in the beginning, to try to figure out what's really wrong with them because they're humans just like us. And we live in our regular life. These people get put on these pedestals. We want to see their pain just like we have pain every day. And I think that's what people are looking for. But that's the easy part, right? It's more work to try to figure out ways to make people laugh. It's more work to try to figure out ways to bring fun and love.
Or inspire people.
And inspire. That's more work.
Yeah.
That's
it is, though.
more rare.
It is.
And that's why it's not as common. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the people who live that path last longer. You know what I mean? And because
it's also a block of the energy. It's like, I don't have to give my all. Because if you go in and you start connecting with people, even if it is pain, and relating to somebody else's pain by sharing yours and kind of like talking about that, it forces you to go into a place where it's honest. And I feel like a lot of us, we wear a shield and we have a wall up, and it's not the truth. So it's easier to be like, all right, as long as I'm hot and I'm good. So I agree with that.
And it's like the barbershop too, right? You ever notice the loudest talker and the person with the most jokes in the barbershop, everybody try to stay off their path? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody looking for their dirt because they the one that's always attacking somebody and clowning somebody in the barbershop. But as soon as somebody really come in and know they dirt and come at them, they shut down and
It's
get
true.
mad and want to fight.
Yeah, it's
The
true.
people who spread negativity most of the time, they trying to keep people off their path because they got a lot of bullshit going on, right? So they spread that negativity to keep people from hunting them down because they feel like it intimidates people or gets people afraid. And so they hide behind that shit. You working on a movie, though.
Yes.
What's this about?
This is a movie about a young woman who at the age of 16, she gets turned on to exotic dancing. So she becomes an exotic dancer,
Was
dealing
you
with
naked
friends.
in the movie?
Not extremely.
When she's wearing a little bikini.
I mean, it's TV. It's TV One.
Oh, okay,
it's
so the
fine.
movies ain't out. The movies
Yeah.
ain't out.
I mean,
It's a nude scene?
no new scenes. Well, no,
You giving table dancing?
not technically table, but lap.
Lap. Okay,
She's
that's what I
playing a
meant.
stripper. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
Lap dance.
But
Yeah,
this
little
is
lap.
based on a true story.
Yo, Laura, don't get past Lil Mama taking her clothes off on TV. You trying to
Wait.
rush me through the scene.
What else do you want to know?
I mean, I'm just uncomfortable. I've known her since she was very young.
She's
And
an
you know when
actress.
these artists come up here and they transition into being grown-ups, it takes me a second.
Okay, well, all right.
Just give me my time.
Go ahead. What else do you want to ask her?
Okay, no, I'm not done.
No, I'm preparing myself. I don't want
I
to.
can't.
I'm not even sure I want to watch the movie now.
No, it's incredible.
Okay.
You have to see it. So it's based on a story about a young woman who, she gets turned on to exotic dancing at 16. And she becomes a teenage mom. And then, that relationship doesn't work out. So now she meets this guy who's 11 years her senior. And,
Sugar daddy.
oh my God, she falls in love. That's her man, right? Into the relationship, she finds out that he's a pimp and a predator. And he's played by Lance Gross. So he's a pretty pimp, And
he's gross.
It
Is he
gets
gross?
yeah, it
He's
gets
gross.
No, Lance Gross.
Lance is
Lance.
far from gross.
Yeah, Lance
No, but I mean,
Gross.
he's a gross individual. Like who he is
The
a person.
character.
The
Yeah,
he's a
character.
I
predator.
mean, you got to see this movie. I think that he has so many layers that he's a little bit of everything, right? And so, it starts off amazing. It's beautiful. And then, soon she gets into the life. And I think it shows how exotic dancing can be a gateway to, excessive drug use, heavy drinking, prostitution, robbery, and in this case, murder as well. And so, she goes on this journey where she's looking for happiness and he's selling her this dream and she thinks she's gonna get there. But by the time she's 19 years old, she serves a 3-count life sentence in prison for catching bodies on robberies, on robberies and prostitution. It's crazy. So it's like, she's head over heels for this guy. And I think that a lot of people know the story from a perspective of her just being a murderer. But in this story, you get a chance to see how it happens.
Right.
Would
You see
you-
the
So wait,
background.
what? Is this a true story?
Yeah,
It's
this is based on a true
story.
I missed that part.
What's the young woman's name?
Felicia Blakely.
Yeah, Felicia Blakely.
So the name of the movie is When Love Kills, the Felicia Blakely Story, because it is based on a true
And where did this take place? Where the true
It took
story?
place in Atlanta. That's where we shot to.
Got it.
We shot in Atlanta.
She's still in jail.
She's still in jail. She's 34.
Did you reach out to her?
I reached out, but the security is so high that, we couldn't even speak to her.
Wow.
So I had to go off of like looking up the story, looking at pictures, and just like, because a person could hold their face a certain way, or I could look into their eyes and kind of pick up on certain energies. Because when it comes to acting, it's like, I want to do her justice, even though she's looked at as a victimizer. I have to do her justice and show how she was a victim. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, of
so
course.
that's the way I did my homework to answer the question, because I didn't get a chance to speak to her.
Do you you come from the street, and I know you guys lived in shelters and things like that you discussed earlier. Did you have strippers, people who went down that exotic dance lifestyle in your family or
I knew
friends?
Yeah.
Or?
I was around a lot of people, growing up, especially with rap, because I've been doing music since I was like 11, and so when I was going in these little hole-in-the-wall clubs in the Meatpacking District and trying to get on, and, they telling us Ebro gonna be there, everybody gonna be there. They put everybody in the flyer.
I probably never showed up.
You never came.
Never showed up.
But, DJ Enough gonna be in the building. They like, everybody's coming.
I never showed up.
But no, like, that life, like that, he never showed up.
She knows I don't be showing up.
He never showed up, but they didn't pay you. They didn't even tell you they was putting you on the bill.
They didn't.
They was playing games with us.
It's cool. I take the marketing.
And then she's like
though.
an upcoming artist, and she's like, well, he's gonna be there. I
He
need
gonna
to be
be there.
there
I need
too.
to be there. I'm trying to get signed. That's all I cared about was signing. But no, it was great. It was a great platform for me to actually wet my feet and get used to crowds. I think a lot of people, when they cold and they try to just jump out there, it's always weird. They don't know how to use the stage. Their presence is just kind of whack, So I was happy for that foundation. But in the midst of that, I would be in gambling spots. I would be in a G spot late at night. I'd be here. I'd be there. I'd be everywhere. So it's like I knew pimps, and it wasn't, the type of pimps that we see on TV only, like, just seeing this long fur coat and, the way they might do it in Houston, everybody got their style. So it might be somebody that's dressed regular like New York, but they pimping. And, you might just have some chicks that they just get fly, but they hoeing. And so I knew a lot of people, and they wasn't people that I judged because they showed me so much love as a kid. And I didn't really comprehend what was going on until I learned the game, So yeah, I've been exposed to a lot.
Is the story, and I'm sure you've talked to some young ladies that have gone, there's exotic dancers that don't go down this path, and then there's some that do.
Exactly.
Right? There's some that go the other way. They start
Exactly.
hoeing first and it kind of exotic dance as a cover for
Exactly.
their other activities.
Almost
Were in researching this, did you go down that path of talking to people and?
Oh yeah, I went to several clubs. I went to Cityscapes. I went Aces. I went pretty much everywhere out here. And then when we went to Atlanta, we went to Blue Flame, Baby Dolls.
Do you like strip clubs?
I mean, like, do I get a kick out of being
Yeah.
in it? I mean, I went to understand the life, but I don't know. Do I like strip clubs? Sometimes.
Sometimes. You get lap dancing?
No.
That's
So
how
you sit there, you enjoy the
I
party,
think-
but then you really start thinking about like different ways that women could possibly, or different paths that they could take.
I think that, at some point in my life, I become very judgmental of a certain type of female, So just to think of the strip club, like my friend's like, yo, let's just go. Like Jacquay, y'all know Jacquay.
Yeah.
He always trying to take me to a strip club. Always. Me and OnStar, he be like, yo, come on, y'all, we gonna go to Aces tonight. I'm hosting. I be like, oh, damn, I'm coming. But I feel like before I started going out and understanding that these women got mad love for me, like so much love. They be like, Lil Mama, what's up? Let's take a picture. And I'm like that? But they like, oh, like I've been in the club before one time where a girl really started covering herself up. And was like, Lil Mama. And I was like, wow, like to have that effect on people, I had to, especially even for this role, get to a space where I wasn't judging my character and I wasn't judging these women, but actually going into the strip club to get to know them and get to understand them, and regular chicks.
So you were in the
cool
back,
females.
you were in the back interviewing them and just seeing how the
Nah.
behind the scenes process.
Just chilling. Like I call them to the section. They come to the section. They dance. We throw bands. They still make their money, but we talk a little bit here and there, but nothing forced. Like questions, like no, just chilling and see how they interact with the men, how comfortable they are with their body, how comfortable they are with their customers. They know their customers well. They know who's paying. They know who's cheap. They walking past them. Stuff like that. So it's like I had to get into character on that level, but I learned so much about just being an individual and having a mindset of whatever it is that led these young women to this point to like, this is what I got to do to make my money, to get to a place where I'm not judging them. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
I read an article that you, and this is timely. I guess you just recently had somebody brought up Chris Brown and you started getting emotional about people not forgiving him.
Yeah.
And he just put out a
Yeah,
movie trailer
we started
today.
watching like I think a trailer that dropped today, like a documentary piece on him.
Yeah.
So we saw like 3-4 minutes of it, but him really going towards the like beginning of the relationship, and then we saw like I read an article that you got really emotional when talking about forgiveness.
Right.
When it came to Chris Brown, and I saw a lot of people were really judgmental about you defending him, and I saw that he was really grateful too.
And people just come for Lil Mama. Anytime and that's why
And
I brought
Chris,
that
too.
up earlier. And Chris.
Yeah,
too.
And Chris.
I feel like, well, Chris is my friend. That's somebody that I love. That's somebody that's dear to my heart. You know, I got his back. And I feel like, generations that have come before us, you will see, certain artists that are individuals and they have each other back. And I feel like in this case, he's a friend to me and I have his back because we were very young when he got signed before me to Jive Records. And then a few years passed and then I got signed. And I understand the pressure that is put on us because we were teenagers, but people are not looking at us as teenagers. They're looking at, oh, that's a star on TV.
Right.
You can't make a mistake. You got it, like how we were saying, like it's this thing where you got to be perfect. And I feel like aside from that, like where is the counsel? Like we are seeking counsel, even if we don't say, hey, I need help. Like we don't have to scream that out. Like instead of people going to say, oh, they out of control or, just waving us off and giving up on us so easily, where are the people that saying, you know what, come by my place, I just finished this movie or I just finished my album and I have some downtime, whether it was a year ago or 2 years ago, this is something I want to talk to you about. And I don't know if you're open to that, but let's have a talk. And I can't say that no one has done that for Chris, but I can absolutely say that there has been, like, aside from Jada Pinkett Smith, aside from MC Lyte, I can't really name anybody else that has done that for me.
I mean, those
And
are
I
some
lost
great
my
names.
mom.
Those are some great names, by the way.
But like I lost my mom. So to see someone out of control who's 19, who lost their mom, and they're a young woman, they're walking into womanhood and not do that, that's not something that I should expect. And I learned that as well too. I had to raise myself and find women that I look to and say, hey, I like that. Let me go to her for that. I like that. Let me go to her for that. And that helped me develop, and to, expressing myself and finding myself and being able to articulate that to others. But with Chris, I just feel like he's in a space right now where he still needs a mentor. He still needs someone that's going to come in and tell him, yo, you're wrong. That's not right. Stop doing that. Start doing this. You're incredible. Don't let people stop you from being incredible. You need to clear this part of your life. And I think that if the person is powerful enough, he'll listen. I'm not saying Chris is perfect, but I'm saying that I love him. And I know he can do better.
I think he has, though. I think the
he
last
has,
couple
too.
years.
No, he's been making a transition. He's powerful.
It's tough because I saw people
I think,
come
what
in
is Chris,
for,
28 now?
Yeah, 28. He's 28.
Like, think about that.
Yes, super young, and I feel like a lot of times it's so unfair when, like you said, you guys are like on every TV screen, so they're quick to point out and judge you when they're so young. Because I saw people coming for being like, how can Lil Mama defend somebody beating a woman? Right.
I don't think that's what I hear you doing.
On the other,
No.
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 And that's exactly because I see on the other hand too, it's like you're also making sure that he's not ignored because he's still a young man who needs help, who's crying for help
It's
at
like,
that time,
okay, like,
and admitted to his mistakes.
But my thing is, is he supposed to get the death penalty? Because if that's the case, let's just do that.
Right.
Well, that's extreme.
No, but
Yeah.
you know what I
No,
mean.
but that's what she's saying,
It's
like-
like, don't take my life away from me by constantly bringing up a mistake that I made at 17. Don't take my life away from me by constantly bringing up a mistake that I made when I was 19. Like, let's get past that. Help me grow. And if you don't see me making an improvement, it's okay for you to go your way while I go mine. And we don't have to be friends. We don't have to communicate. If you don't respect me as a man or if you don't respect me as a woman, that's fine. You live your life the way you live it. I live my life the way I live it. We can coexist without
Well, I
communicating.
think the most powerful thing you pointed out was the realization that not everyone is there to help you.
Right.
Matter of fact, 99% of people ain't and don't expect them to.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough like yourself to locate strong, influential, successful individuals that you can see yourself in, and they're willing to communicate with you on a regular basis as you make transitions, that's the blessing. Most people ain't gonna find that, which is why a lot of people, go to their pastors and their community, and
true.
you know what I'm saying? Because that's what people are looking for.
Right.
They're looking for guidance.
Right.
So to have a chip on your shoulder, to expect society or people who aren't, hell, man, sometimes you can't even turn to your family.
It's true. It's very true.
Let's keep it 100. Your brother, your mother, your father, all of these people who you would think like these are the people I should have. Many people don't even have that.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why
it's tough.
You're right. That's why I took on this character, because I feel like people have known me through music for so long, right? And with acting, like when I played Left Eye in the TLC story, Crazy Sexy Cool, I found something there. I was able to communicate with people through art still, but to show a certain level of emotion, right? Now and she had support. She lost her dad and he was in her life and her mom was in her life, but she lost him unfortunately at an early age too, and I was able to relate to that. To whereas in this story, this young woman is dealing with neglect to some degree. Her mother is not there for her. So the fact that person is not in her life, that leads her to, all right, let me go to the club to get my money. Because maybe when you come to ask them, you got $20, you keep asking me for money. I've seen people actually deal with that. You go ask your moms. You 16 and you like, Mom, I'm hurting right now. How you hurting? How I'm hurting? I don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how am I supposed to work? Yeah, they got, programs for teenagers to work during the summer and things like that. And now that we're moving more and more into the future, they're like, okay, we're expanding. It's like, okay, a 16-year-old can hold it down, give them a job. But at that point in 98, it wasn't like that.
Very true.
And this young woman was, she was
depending
alone.
on where you lived and depending on your guidance in your
depending
community.
On that, and that's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like with this film in particular, it speaks to the young woman who feels neglected, who feels alone, even though there's people in the home.
Yeah.
It's like it's a full house, but you by yourself.
It's like that young lady. Remember, we was talking about this. A young lady called in the show one time because we was talking about the R. Kelly situation with the young ladies that are a part of some cult or that whole situation. And I was articulating that there's some women who choose this lifestyle because they love the money. Like I know firsthand women who come from great houses.
True.
Both parents in the home.
True.
And they want to be a part of this escort, stripper lifestyle because they want the big money.
And the excitement. Because
And
if
the
they already
excitement.
got the money,
Right.
they might just
And
be
a
boring
young
in that
lady,
thing.
a young lady called in and she said when she was a teenager, she comes from a great home, whatever, but her parents at 16 was like, we not buying you that expensive shit. And she was like, I wanted that expensive shit. I felt like my parents cut me off.
Yep, and by all means necessary, and that's what
And
she's
so
trying
she
to.
went out on her own and did time and kind of similar to this story, got a pimp and was living that lifestyle. And now she sells insurance. And why not? And I was like, you just a great salesman.
But listen, afterwards, we asked her, would you ever go back? She's like, if my job wasn't, what it is, and if I lost my
Because the
job,
money is that
I
important.
would go back.
To her. Wow.
Yeah.
So, listen, are we calling you Lil Mama? Like, what's happening now? I need direction. Or is it
confused
every time
me.
I see you, I gotta go with Natia?
Natia.
And then the
Natia.
correction. Like, y'all, don't say Natia. It's Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's spelled,
Nah,
it's like,
Tia,
nah, Tia,
nah.
chill. You wildin' like that. So, like, it's spelled Niatia, but it's pronounced Nahtia. And it means purpose goddess.
But now answer my question. Are we still
Yes,
cool?
call me Natia.
But if I said Lil Mama, like you like, nah, it's Natia.
Yes.
That's what's happening from here on out?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And so you're not going back to rapping no more? Rapping's...
I won't say that.
Look,
But if you drop a record, hold on. But if you drop a record, is it gonna be
that's not
Natia?
clean.
No, to be completely honest with you, I can never abandon Mama because that's always been my nickname.
But the Lil, you ain't with the Lil.
No, it ain't even that the Lil, this is funny. This transition is funny to me because when I was a kid, I was 9 pounds, 13 ounces when I was born, right? And of course I was pale and I had these big gray eyes. So my aunt and my mother, they named me Mama because they was watching Throw Mama from the Train. and they felt like I looked like the old white lady in the movie. So that's how I got the name, right? So as time progressed, I should have never told you that.
Yeah,
right?
that's so good. Yo, shout out to your family.
Yeah, they crazy.
They crushing everybody.
So they was like, Mama. That's what we gonna call her, Mama. So then as I got older, I started like running the house. Like I tell my brothers, look, you wash the dishes, you sweep. I'm going in mommy room. I'm gonna make sure that's straightened up. And when I come back out, we gonna attack the living room. So that was my personality. It was like, damn, why we named her that? You know. So the Lil came in when I was just like, I did my homework, I did my research. I'm like, what's hot right now? Like, I rap, I do poetry. I love it. I want to get out there. I already had my signature, how I was going to sign my autographs. I'm like, all right, look, this Mama is dope, but all right, Lil Wayne, Lil Zane, Lil Kim, Lil Bow Wow, all right, all the Lils. All right, cool, Lil Mama.
I'm in the lows.
And that's how I got my name, because I looked at what was happening in the industry, like what was, like people was taken to. And I said, I needed my
Let me plot my entry.
I needed my Lil Lit. So I gave myself Lil Mama. So it's not something
Yo,
that...
and by the way, don't one of you rappers pop up with Lil Lit, like she just said, my
Yeah.
Lil Lit.
Yeah.
I know, is it a Lil Lit yet?
No,
It's a
no.
Lil Pump. Ain't no Lil Lit? Somebody
Lil
gonna
Mama named me Lit. Now you call me Lil Lit.
So wait, you still ain't answered the question.
Oh,
If I see you in the street,
if you see me in the streets, call me Niatia. But the other question that you asked,
you still rapping though. Because if you keep rapping, I'm calling you Lil Mama.
That's what I
That's
said.
okay.
If you drop a record,
that's
that's a
okay.
Lil Mama record.
No, that's okay.
But when you come up for a movie, we gotta call you Niatia.
I mean, you can't run away from the part of you that
I'm
has made
confused,
history.
by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
confused.
Let me help you. You can't run away from a part of yourself that has made history. Lil Mama made history. Lil Mama was the one that put out lip gloss and made the streets go crazy. Lil Mama was the one that hopped on stage with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Lil Mama was the one that did 7 seasons of America's Best Dance Crew. Lil Mama was the one that did a lot of things that people respect. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so with the things that I have done, it's not a reason for me to abandon my name. It's just that I want to be respected for myself. And Niatia, that's who I am.
So wait, what's your name on Instagram then?
Oh, God.
What's the Instagram name?
Ebro, you're annoying because you're being
Yes.
funny right now. You're being funny. All right, I'm changing it.
You gotta change it.
I am going to change it.
Cause I'm just saying, fam.
I'm going to change it.
It does still say Niatia though, but it's at Lil Mama.
I mean, come on.
She's
gotta
in
be a
transition right now.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
leave it at that.
You gotta slow. You know what it is too? You know, I never felt the need to force.
The next interview, just say, here, let me help you out. Next
Okay.
interview, when somebody asks you, you just say, look, when I'm doing this job of acting,
Go ahead.
my name's Niatia.
Yes.
When I'm making music, I'm Lil Mama.
Okay.
Clean or
But
not?
I can't really.
Is that clean?
I
I was
don't-
clean.
It's clean.
Kind of like Childish
thing
Gambino.
is-
That's what he
That's
does.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, tell me
He's
what the
Donald
frustration
Glover,
is.
but he's an actor.
What's the problem?
When he's dropping
No,
music, he's Childish Gambino.
I'm trying to be helpful, man. I'm trying to find solutions, not
All
problems.
right. Here's the thing. You don't know what I'm gonna do with music.
So then tell us.
No. But just know that I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to Lil Mama. I'm not opposed to it. When people call me that, I'm in transition, and I have no problems with people calling me, referring to me as they know me. That's cool. But when you see me,
Niatia.
yes,
So will you have the quotes in your name? Like when it says like Chris Ludacris
Yeah.
Bridges,
Uh-huh.
yours says Niatia
Lil Mama Kirkland. Yes, absolutely, without doubt.
Give it up for Niatia
Yes.
Lil Mama Kirkland. Shout TV1, when's the movie coming on?
Yes, When Love Kills, the Felicia Blakely story, is airing on August 28th, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right? And at the same time, it's going to come on Central at 8 and on the East Coast at 6. So nobody's going to be ahead of you on Twitter and Instagram.
Spoiler alert.
No,
Spoiler
because
alert.
I hate that. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on? So it's going to come on at one time across all platforms on Monday, August 28th on
And
TV1.
based on Natia's facial expressions, based on Niatia Lil Mama Kirkland's facial expressions, there will be music on the way.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.